you talk about donor retention and how Bloomerang really helps with that. But what if you don't have Bloomerang?
Okay.
What can you do?
Well, first of all, just like anything, I don't know if you've ever gone through this yourself, Chris, and please take us the right way. But if you're trying to lose weight, you probably need to know how much you weigh, right? Okay, and you want to see how it changes over the course of time. Well, I think that's the first tidbit I would pass on, is asking all of the people watching this video to make sure you know what your donor retention rate is at one instant in time, and then check it a week later or a month later or 6 months later and see, is it moving upwards? Is it moving downwards? What are we doing? Because all of a sudden when you start knowing what the retention rate is, then you start going to the next step of figuring out what are all the factors that influence that rate. So maybe the fact of, are we doing a good job of thanking people? Are we doing a good job of following up people that attend our events? Are we making them feel special compared to every other nonprofit that they support? To do that. And it's sort of interesting, as people focus in on that, they start thinking, wow, you know, if we just change a little bit here or there, we're very special in the eyes of that donor.
You know, I just realized some people watching this might not even know why you should hold on to donors, or why it's important to keep track of donor retention.
That's a fair question. Yeah.
I mean, you and I know that.
Yeah.
But sometimes for the new person, why is donor retention important?
Well, first of all, most of the time it costs more than the initial gift to obtain a new donor. So that whole acquisition cost equation comes into play, that when you net it out, most of the time people will spend $1.50, $2, $2.50 to acquire $1 in donations for that. So, but when you go into the renewals of people that are giving again and again, all of a sudden the cost for that goes way down, and the overall value of that shines way up there to do that. So by doing that, if you find that you can help people become a multiple time donor to your organization, that allegiance builds up, and then you get the really added benefit of them being stewards to your organization. The very best new donors are often referrals from your long-term existing donors. Their friends, their family, their acquaintances that get introduced by somebody that has a deep-rooted passion for your cause. So the more of those you have, the better off any organization is going to be in the long run.
You know, I didn't really even think about that, because it's not just the value of that donor if you retain them, but it's the value of the donor plus the potential new donors that they bring in through referrals.
Yeah, you have fingers going out in the community that are extremely powerful. Just think about it. If you get an email from a nonprofit organization, and whether you debate whether am I going to open it, whether I'm going to take an action, versus if you get an email from your best friend. You're going to open that email, you're going to think about what that person's saying, and in many cases, you're probably going to go ahead and attend that event with that person, or become involved, or at least find out more to do it. And it's just a natural human tendency, because we trust key people in our lives, and when communications are coming from those individuals, they're going to take a much bigger notice.
So actually holding on to our current donors in a better way actually gets us to bring in more donors.
Absolutely, yeah. You not only retain the dollars coming from those existing donors that stay, but as they bring additional people in, and then don't forget, the rings of the circle just keep going out. As those people become involved and become aware and become passionate about your cause, then they bring in additional people, and et cetera for that. And that's much better than running a new email list or running a new direct mail list that nobody knows you, and you're just trying to see if you can impress them with your initial communication.
Okay, I like that, because one of the questions that I get all the time is, how do I bring in new donors?
Yeah.
Right. And so what you just described is really an exponential way of bringing new donors in, but it's by concentrating on the donors that you already have.
Yeah, let me give you an example. We were talking a minute ago about the wonderful employees we have at Bloomerang. I can probably, as I take a look at all the employees we have here, I bet there are 70 to 75% of them came as a referral of a friend of somebody that was already here. Not somebody that we found in an ad or found, with a headhunter or something of that nature. They were because of the relationships that they had with people that were already working here. And those are the very best people, because when you talk about employee retention, one of the biggest reasons why employees stay at any place is they have a best friend there too. It's the number one reason. It's not pay, it's not working conditions. It's, I have a best friend that works there also.
Well, it makes total sense.
Absolutely. And so are you going to be much more likely to support an organization or attend a big event if your friends are going to?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. I think I have a lot more fun at some of the events that my wife and I attend when we're there with friends that we do other things with too.